Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. I want to run through my heavier rose fragrances. These are the head turners in one way or another. Some of them are quite gothic, some of them are, I guess, brighter, but I don't think there's any of the fresh roses here. These are the heavier hitting rose fragrances. If you'd like to see what I've got, do keep watching. Straight off the bat, I'm going to start, and this is so reflective. I'll keep it down here. I'm going to start with Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper by Kayali. This is one of my favorites. I wore this in the last week as well. I wore it to dinner. It is stunning. This is rose, pink pepper, saffron, amber. Oh, I'm not going over the top. This is completely wearable. It's springtime weather here. We're having a slightly cool spring, I think. As I say, wore this of an evening to dinner. It makes any woman, I think any woman that wears this is just going to feel literally like an Arabian princess. It's very seductive. It's very smooth. My guess would be it's the combination with the saffron that gives this smooth, it's like smooth and spicy at the same time. So good. I would swear there's vanilla in here, but it's not listed. So it must be part of the amber accord. The rose is gorgeous. And one of the things I wanted to mention about this, the rose in here is sweet and plush and very seductive and does not turn soapy on my skin. Some roses go a bit soapy on my skin, which is okay. I don't mind that. But this stays warm and smooth, no soapiness. All the hype you've heard about this, in my view, absolutely worth it. And also it projects really well. On the high end of moderate, it's very, very good. Depends how much you spray, of course. And it's got some great longevity. I think I've only really ever worn this of an evening. It's one of my evening scents. So I've not tested it all day, but it lasts 6 hours easily on the skin, projecting moderately. Very gorgeous, very seductive, very head-turning. Kayali, Sweet Diamond, Pink Pepper. Let's talk about Midnight Oud by Juliet Has a Gun. I've mentioned this in a recent video. It's fairly new to my collection. This again is a very seductive, a little bit gothic rose. There's a couple of different roses in here. The rose is deep. It's deep. I actually kind of more get a deep pink rose. I do. Yes, maybe a mixture of red and pink roses. What I love about this is there's nothing dusty about this rose. There's nothing potpourri about it. And the oud gives this some roundedness, gives this some depth. The oud is not obnoxious at all. And there's bergamot in it, which makes the whole thing quite fresh. There are times where I get a touch of soapiness in this fragrance, and I don't mind it. And it doesn't stay soapy. It kind of pops in and out. This is a rose oud combination that I could actually wear on a cool day in the daytime. Again, it's another banger for nighttime. Really something special, really bold. It's for a mature person. I love smelling it. I love smelling it. It's a great combination. I'm looking into, there's a bunch of these earlier Juliet Has a Gun rose fragrances. There's another one coming up. Spoiler alert. But yeah, my understanding is that back in the day, Juliet Has a Gun, part of their main thing was this line of rose fragrances. And what I'm trying, I'm loving. This one is Midnight Oud, and it's still available. Yeah, it's, you know, there, it's just, it's not, there's nothing, this is just different. All these fragrances are for that more serious, you know, more serious, more sexy, head turning. They're statement fragrances, and this is one of those. This is wearable, as I say, which I love. That is Juliet Has a Gun Midnight Oud. Well, we go straight into the other Juliet Has a Gun rose fragrance. This one is Vengeance Extreme. So this has been replaced years ago by Lady Vengeance. This one, Vengeance Extreme, the original, is still around. I picked up this in recent months. This one is the gothic Mary Shelley. Whoo, cold walls, dripping stones. This conjures up that. Vengeance Extreme is unapologetic gothic goodness. There is lavender and patchouli with this rose. And yeah, this is Grown Up Wednesday Addams. This is Morticia. I love it. I love it. And I will wear this to bed, sprayed very sparingly sometimes. The lavender is lovely in here, actually. The lavender is not a fougere kind of male cologne lavender. I don't get that at all. I get something almost sweet and almost violety in the lavender, if that makes any kind of sense. It's kind of, the lavender is very pleasant, and the lavender comes out more. Yeah, you have to like lavender to like Vengeance Extreme, but this, I like the name of it. They went with Lady Vengeance, but Vengeance Extreme, I don't know. You know, I think there's parts of all of us that sometimes might want to express themselves, and yeah, it's unapologetic. This is head turning in the sense that people will wonder what you're wearing. It's like, oh yeah, and like I say, it's cold, you know, brings to mind Vengeance is best served cold. She's cold. Cold, 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 cold. As I say, dripping stone walls, old school romantic Lord Byron, Mary Shelley vibes. An interesting one. Vengeance Extreme, again by Juliet Has a Gun. Let's change the tone completely. Roses Vanille. Like it or hate it, I love it. I love it. This is a head turner. This is Mancera, original Mancera, wonderful. This smells like realistic rose petals. If you get rose petals and go like this, particularly pink or red rose petals, and go like that, that's this, with a heck of a lot of sugar. This is rose petals encrusted in sugar. Entirely divine. I actually think anyone could wear Roses Vanille, young, old, male, female. Glorious and entirely head turning because so very delicious. Let's keep in the family and move to Montale Red Oud. This one is very strong, and it again is a gourmand nuanced, not sweet gourmand, but there's a culinary vibe to Red Oud. It is rose and oud. The rose here is, it's got some freshness to it. This is one that does have a touch of soapiness to it. But again, it's very plush, and it's combined with an oud that smells like baked goods, and not sweet baked goods, more like kind of oat biscuits or something like that, baking in an oven. This one, again, a complete head turner. I would say this leans feminine, even though it is marketed unisex, I think, but it's very hospitable, and I think it's the combination between the rose and this lovely warmth from the oud and the other spices in here. There's culinary spices in here that smell like cooking a feast in progress. So this is a very interesting one, but it's one that I'm drawn to, and very distinctive smelling, very head turning, lasts hours and hours. And there is a bit of a journey with it. I think the oud is dominant, then it dies down, and you're left with a lovely, sweet rose. That's Red Oud by Montel. Here is a Lattafa that came with a gift with purchase, and I might have to, let me just find something to spray. And this is a very intriguing rose fragrance. This is rose. It's a very mineral smelling rose, and it's very mineral and cold. It's really quite delicious. It's really quite delicious. It does have this beautiful cap, but the center part of the cap, sometimes with these fragrances, the packaging kind of lets you down. It came out. So I just sit it on my shelf. It's quite beautiful, but the cap is not secure. And I hope I said the name right. This is Winner's Trophy Gold by Lattafa. Oh, yes. So this reminds me of Flower Bomb Midnight, which I have in my collection, in the sense that it's got that one is Flower Bomb Midnight is jasmine and peony, and I think this is rose and peony, but they both have that chill nighttime air quality. And for me, this one, yeah, it comes from this kind of mineral nighttime feel. This one is quite sweet. I've not experimented with this one a lot, but I enjoy it. And as I say, straight away it reminded me of Flower Bomb Midnight, which is a jasmine peony. But yeah, there's a fizzy, mineral, almost metallic quality to this one that's very intriguing to me. That is Winner's Trophy by Lattafa Gold, I should say. I've got a couple of earlier designer strong rose fragrances that no one really talks about. No one talks about La Petite Robe Noire anymore at all. This is rose, tea, and licorice, and it's a major head turner. It couldn't be sweeter. I really enjoy this, or I did. I don't wear it a lot anymore, actually. I don't find myself wearing this one a lot anymore, but there's something very youthful about this. It's syrupy. The way the licorice, rose, and tea is done. I'm going to spray a little bit of it. This lasts forever. So one spray is, yes, wow. Tea, black tea, licorice, and the rose permeates everything. It's incredibly distinctive, the La Petite Robe Noire range, and it's a combination of that tea and licorice. Yeah, if you like licorice and you haven't tried this old classic, I encourage you to. It's so very good, lasts a long time on the skin. This is playful. This one is playful, but it's really strong. So definitely in the head turner category. La Petite Robe Noire by Guerlain. Poison Girl EDP is a rose tonka vanilla combination, but let's just say rose and tonka. It's spicy, it's deep. It, again, like this one, this was back in the day where the designers, there were very distinctive perfumes being put out. And Poison Girl is another one of these very distinctive concoctions. It's tonka heavy. So the tonka in here reminds me of La Belle Le Parfum. You really get that sweet spiciness, but there is a rose component in here, and it's just very enjoyable. And there's a candy kind of aspect, and there's citrus on the top of this one, but this one is definitely the much older sister to the EDT, and it's a rosy tonka vanilla, heavy scent, perfect for fall and winter. Now I think it does have old school vibes. I wore this in the last week or two, and I thought, yeah, this does remind me of something from an earlier era, but I still really enjoy it. It's very distinctive, and it's a different take on rose. From designer old school days, this is Poison Girl by Dior. Keeping with designer theme, Angel Nova by Mugler. Now this one just brings a smile to anyone's face, I think. I think this is, I can't spray it on myself. These are all too heavy to spray on myself. I'm just going to be crazy. Oh, rose, raspberry, lychee. This is, I think this is quite an inspired take on a rose fragrance. I think she's beautiful. And it is the raspberry, lychee, rose, and Akigala wood. Now, the Akigala wood comes out as this fragrance dries down, and a lot of people don't like it. It seems a contradiction, the very bright, feminine, fruity tones of this with the Akigala wood, but I enjoy that, and it's this very, very woody. I believe Akigala wood is a derivative of patchouli. Gosh, this is a delicious take on rose. Very delicious, very tart, very sweet. This is the loudest girl in the room. She's everything. Yeah. Not for everyone, but a wonderful birthday party holiday scent. That is Angel Nova by Mugler. Another sweet, sweet, loud, loud, loud rose is Amethyst by Lattafa. Oh my goodness. Now, this one is almost too strong to wear. This one takes courage to wear. I have worn this, and other people do enjoy it for sure. It's, again, that very jammy, syrupy rose. Raspberry's not in here, but the rose is that syrupy that it smells like raspberry jam. And there's a lot of oud in here as well. And the oud is very prominent, and to other people, because I've asked them and they've told me when I'm wearing it, the oud gives this a smoky quality. So like, you know, I guess similar to this with the Akigala wood in the base, there's all this brightness and sweetness at the top, and it's cut through with something quite different. In this case, it's that woody Akigala wood, kind of patchouli-like base. And in this one, it's oud, and the oud is smoky. And yeah, this one's dense. This one's cold weather for sure. And I think I've mentioned before, I did wear it in a kind of a cool to warm weather, and it was fine. But again, not to be worn to work. This is a party fragrance. This is outdoor kind of fragrance, but there's something about all of these sweet, jammy roses that I'm just all for. They're mood boosters. They're powerful. They make you feel, these make me feel feminine and in my power. I need to try and wear this more. Be braver. That is Amethyst by Lattafa. Another one from Montal. Montal does a lot of roses, and this is dark purple. So this is plum and rose. It's musky. It's beautiful the way this is done. This one, and I think there's geranium in here with the rose, which tends to really boost the rose. I'm going to spray this one. This is just so nice. Oh, really a delicious burst of plum. This is one I wear a lot when I'm in the mood for it. Oh, it's so good. So to start with, there's that bright burst of plum. Then we have the rose and the geranium. It's musky, so there's a powdery quality to it, and there's woods in the base. It's kind of a typical Montal base. I think the combination of dark purple is really, really well done. I've worn this in all weathers, and I will put it on when I want something that lasts all day, when I'm not wanting to top up. And I do get these wonderful, almost gourmand, delicious wafts throughout the day of dark purple. It's very feminine. It's very full-bodied. It's plush. It's yummy. It's all of those things. That is dark purple by Montel. That, friends, is my list. I plan on getting some more. There's some more on my wish list. There's another Montal one on my wish list. And I'm just wowed. I think my olfactory senses are a bit overloaded. I'm going to pick a favorite for you though. I'm going to pick two favorites. I know favorite is singular, but let's go with two. I have to say Kayali's Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper. And I'm also going to say Midnight Oud by Juliet Has a Gun, because it's a new one that I'm playing around with. And there's some complexity to Midnight Oud. I think that's it. I'm still getting to know it, and I absolutely love it. So those two, all of these are head turners, but at the moment, these are the two that make me feel all that, you know, and I think that's wonderful. No matter what our age, that we have a fragrance or fragrances that we can put on, and yeah, that main character energy. They're my selections. Tell me, do tell me, are you into these heavier rose fragrances, and which are your favorite? Can't wait to hear, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.